Why monologue? Here I am, Tuesday, August 6th, in the morning. What's on my mind? Before the monologue, I like to journal. I thought today I would go through what I decided to write about. Started off talking about how life is about the little things. This morning when I was walking Paco, the dog I walk, about 10-15 minutes in, I just found myself feeling my feet within my Birkenstocks, and something about it just made me feel really grateful to be able to have that feeling, to be like connected to this world through that grounding point. It was quite interesting. I don't know why it happened that way, but my mind was kind of scattered before that, and then the rest of the walk afterwards was really great. It felt just like I was one with the world around me. So that like little moment of appreciation, I don't know like where it came from, but felt amazing once it happened. Second thing I was grateful for, just a little thing, is I noticed as I started journaling, was taking my first sip of coffee in the morning. I've been pushing that back. I used to wake up and have caffeine basically right away, but now I'm trying to give it like an hour and a half before I do. So I'll wake up, I'll have my early morning herbs for my acne. Then I'll get out the house, I'll walk the dog for 30 minutes, come to Versi, and then I'll journal, and then I'll have my caffeine. And that first sip just tasted so wonderful as I was alone with my thoughts to be able to get that out. Really just felt amazing. Reflecting on that, really grounding. Two little details from my morning feel like sharing. With that, I also reflected on how I've been snoozing my alarm quite consistently, and this is a habit I would like to break. So being cognizant of how good I feel awake is just something I will use to help motivate me to wake up in the morning and break that cycle. Next, in my journal, I talked about what a full day I have ahead and how it's great to start emptying my head out onto the pages, into this form, speaking to you. But the day ahead is really just like a slap in the face. Since I've been procrastinating all this stuff for Why Acne for so long, there's no need to continue to beat around the bush. It's never going to be perfect. I'm never going to have a multi-million-dollar budget app, but what I do have, I can put out there, and I just haven't. And I've always been like, oh, let me just do this one last thing, and then this one last thing, this one last thing, and do it. And that's silly. I have way too many connections in front of me, so I'm just gonna basically reach out to them all and maybe even finagle some of the details a little bit, but I don't even think that's necessary. For example, Dr. John Barbieri, the director of acne research at Harvard Med, Alexander Kalinin, the guy who published the paper with the model, Dan Kern, the founder of acne.org, many content creators, the list goes on. Just assemble the acne Avengers, and me, like, I don't really care what I get out of it. I just want to make it happen. Like, I'm happy to walk away with very little from all this. But I've been waiting to pull those strings, like, thinking that I need to be like perfect to do so, but that's just really not the case. And I actually realized that, thankfully, because of Akash, one of my good friends here from Versi, he just moved on to a new position and basically gave a talk on his learnings from the year. And he reflected on how he got here and like the events he put on and put together to like land this position, and then the events he put on from working in the position, just like the head of events here at Versi. And the takeaway from that is that you can bring these pieces together like without you yourself being this perfect being. And basically the way to do that is you like leverage the other connections. So like, I have 3 other people I'm working with, and you send that to all 4 people, and then all 4 come on board because they think the other 3 are already on board, when in the beginning none of them were on board. Like, that's sort of where I'm at, and I feel like I knew that, but something about like me having built this and taking full accountability is just like I've been procrastinating it. So hearing Akash say that may have been the kick in the behind that I needed. And so that really is where I'm at. Another thing, I just really enjoyed the little presentation he gave, and he's so much younger than I am now. He's 21, I'm 25, and everyone's like, wow, look at how great it is that you're doing all this stuff. And not to take anything away from him, like what he's doing is incredible at that age, and the maturity and just all of it. But at 19, I was running a pizzeria in the East Village, and I've done so many things since, and I don't demand the respect from myself that I should. I treat myself like an idiot, which is good because I don't like to be too serious, and I like to be perceived as who I am, this casual guy in the real world. But really, I do need to demand more respect from myself and from my time, and hearing the way he does so, it was really inspiring to me. So for him to be at this young age and to be taking these steps and seeing him demand the respect he deserves, it's like, well, why the heck am I not doing that? So that was another big takeaway. Shout out to Kosh if you're listening. Another thing is that, like, the naive and extremely ambitious mindset that he has, and like putting these events together is something that I've always resonated with. But now that it's like I'm here and I have this like tech product, I like lost sight of that when really it's kind of like all I have. All I have is the ability to be the guy to like put it all together, care, and be able to figure it out, but like not expect perfection because that's just unattainable. So it's something I have to get back to, which is great. Finally, the quote that I was left with, that he left us all with, was, "I hate to lose more than I love to win." Basically, the interpretation was that winning is something that you shouldn't do very often. If you're winning too much, your bar is too low. You should be losing often, because losing means you're trying. Losing means you're failing. Losing means you're learning. But you should hate it because you want to learn and you want to grow and you don't want to do it unless it's absolutely necessary. But reflecting on myself since then, I've found that I'm neither losing nor winning. I'm in this like middle complacent state where I'm not taking enough risk to fail, but I'm also not winning. I'm just kind of moving along, and that's so stupid. It's time to just cold plunge, throw myself into the deepest end and destroy my comfort zone. Otherwise, this life is kind of a waste. Really, that talk by Akash, shout out Akash, did a great job of making me realize, like, what the heck am I doing? I'm in this like weird limbo where it's like I've done so much, but I just haven't taken the final step to go to where I need to be. But and like in doing so, I haven't failed because I haven't put myself out there, but I also haven't won, so I can't celebrate the wins. So what am I doing? I'm just like kind of existing, and I need to break that feedback loop as soon as possible. So the mission for today is, fuck it, reach out to all of these people that I've procrastinated doing so for so long. And if that means failing, then good. But if that means succeeding, then well, also good. Either outcome is better than continuing to code away on some website that no one's ever gonna see. That's just such a waste. And that really is the realization. It's today, good video, good monologue, good journal. I'm happy with where I'm at, but I've got a long way to go. So I gotta get after it. And yeah, I'll be back again tomorrow checking in, and I'll see you then.